communities and religions work together. This is an important, in fact, message. And also, let me add, in the last 2.5 hours that I have been in the capital city of Bangladesh, there is palpable tension, increasing anti-India rhetoric as well. But while in amidst all this, in the vacuum of solid political faces, can Tarique Rahman fill that vacuum for Bangladesh? We will have to wait and see, but listen into what he said after his return to Bangladesh after 17 years.
এই দেশে মুসলমান, বৌদ্ধ, খ্রিস্টান, হিন্দু সহ বিভিন্ন ধর্মের মানুষ বসবাস করে। আমরা চাই সকলে মিলে এমন একটি বাংলাদেশ গড়ে তুলব আমরা, যেই বাংলাদেশের স্বপ্ন একজন মা দেখেন, অর্থাৎ একটি নিরাপদ বাংলাদেশ আমরা গড়ে তুলতে চাই, যে বাংলাদেশে একজন নারী, একজন পুরুষ, একজন শিশু যেই হোক না কেন নিরাপদে ঘর থেকে বের হলে নিরাপদে ইনশাআল্লাহ ঘরে আবার ফিরে আসতে পারে। কয়েকদিন আগে এই বাংলাদেশের 24-এর আন্দোলনের এক সাহসী প্রজন্মের এক সাহসী সদস্য ওসমান হাদিকে হত্যা করা হয়েছে। ওসমান হাদি শহীদ হয়েছে। প্রিয় ভাই বোনেরা, ওসমান হাদি চেয়েছিল এই দেশের মানুষের জন্য গণতন্ত্র প্রতিষ্ঠিত হোক, এই দেশের মানুষের গণতান্ত্রিক অধিকার প্রতিষ্ঠিত হোক, এই দেশের মানুষ তাদের গণতান্ত্রিক এবং অর্থনৈতিক অধিকার ফিরে পাক। মার্টিন লুথার কিং তার একটি বিখ্যাত ডায়লগ আছে, আই হ্যাভ এ ড্রিম। আজ এই বাংলাদেশের মাটিতে দাঁড়িয়ে আপনাদের সকলের সামনে আমি বলতে চাই, বাংলাদেশ জাতীয়তাবাদী দলের একজন সদস্য হিসাবে আপনাদের সামনে আমি বলতে চাই, I have a plan for the people of my country.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tarique Rahman's return marks an important chapter in the current prevailing situation of Bangladesh, which has been watched not only keenly by India but across the globe. There are concerns about the sporadic violence, the rise of extremism, and Tarique Rahman, the son, the political heir of Khaleda Zia, the former Prime Minister who is unwell, his ability to mobilize his cadre, keep the protest or keep the entire movement peaceful will now be tested. As I said, at one point of time, he was seen as the dark prince of the politics of Bangladesh. There were charges, serious, grave charges, including murder against him. Once Sheikh Hasina regime was ousted, all those charges were dropped. Now he's seeking to take Bangladesh into a new future, deliver Bangladesh from this turmoil to a peaceful Bangladesh. But in all this, the ability of the current interim regime under Mohammed Yunus to in fact ensure that there is a peaceful and fair election in February is under a question mark because of the recent events which have taken place in the country, whether it is violence against the minorities or the threatening of the independent and fair media. All these put a question mark not only on the intention of Mohammed Yunus and his government, but also on their ability to hold Bangladesh together. And this all comes with the threat of the rising influence of what the local intellectuals call the influence of the Jamaat. Recent surveys suggest that in the upcoming election, Jamaat is in the race with BNP, expected to win the largest number of seats. But will that be enough for a peaceful transition? That's a question that people are also pondering about.
A nation on edge. Streets unsettled by violence. Institutions under strain. And now, a political return that could change everything. Rahman's return comes at a time when Bangladesh is seen to be at a crossroads. Radical Islamic groups are increasingly visible on the streets, while the interim government led by Muhammad Yunus faces criticism over legitimacy, governance, and foreign policy decisions taken without an electoral mandate. Tarique Rahman has made one thing clear: foreign policy will change if the BNP returns to power. At a rally in Dhaka earlier this year, Rahman unveiled his Bangladesh First doctrine. The slogan marks a sharp departure from the current interim government's outreach to Pakistan and a clear contrast to ousted PM Sheikh Hasina's India-centric diplomacy. With the Awami League banned from contesting, the political battlefield is now centered around the BNP, while Islamist outfit Jamaat-e-Islami waits on the sidelines. Once allies of the BNP, Jamaat has refused to join any traditional electoral front this time. Against this volatile backdrop, Tarique Rahman is positioning himself as the face of democracy's return. Once jailed for 18 months and forced into exile in 2008, Tarique Rahman's return now places him at the very center of Bangladesh's future, tasked with uniting a deeply polarized nation, countering radical forces, and restoring an elected government. Bureau Report for NDTV.
I want to give you some context of where we are because that is very, very important. In Dhaka, just not very far from here, just a few kilometers away from where I'm standing, is the, in fact, flyover where a grenade was lobbed yesterday. Now, this, in fact, resulted in the death of a person, and there has been outrage also in the Marg Bazaar area where this bomb was, the bomb blast took place, which resulted in the death of one person. Everywhere in Dhaka, there has been massive security. You will also hear at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, a police van going across. In fact, there has been, continuously we keep hearing the massive security that has been, especially today, because Tarique Rahman was coming back. This is one of the very busy, in fact, areas here in the city of Dhaka where we are reporting at this moment. There is, while in India, massive outrage as far as the minorities, especially Hindus, are being targeted. On the other hand, let me very quickly also give you a sense about, what happened today in the Dhaka University. In the university today, a cafe was vandalized by extremist elements. Now, this is once again being seen as the inability and growing pressure of the Jamaat, of the extremist, in fact, elements in Dhaka and Bangladesh. Now, this Madhur canteen at the university was vandalized. With the clips of this vandalism have now gone viral. And while we are talking about this, there seems to be a pattern to try and target the historic, in fact, symbols of Dhaka, especially related to the freedom movement which resulted in the independence of Bangladesh in 1971. I just want you to take a look at these visuals of the Madhur canteen which was vandalized today. Okay, now from the, shared sense of the belief and, of course, a purpose that the country feels that, once the return of Tarique Rahman, there is going to be hopefully a peaceful political movement resulting into the elections that are now due in February. One important element would be, of course, how free and fair these elections are, and apart from BNP, which will be the major players as far as these elections are concerned. But leaving that aside, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, there has been the whole sense of that shared sacrifice that brought the birth of this nation, Bangladesh, in 1971 between India and Bangladesh. The sacrifices made by both the countries to ensure the freedom that the country, in fact, enjoys today. But right from 2024, when this entire political turmoil and the violence started in Bangladesh, there has been a sense that there is a vicious planned attack on the whole legacy of 1971, whether it is removal of the statues of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, or also the Bangabandhu, of course, and also the other symbols where India-Bangladesh friendship, they have stood the time, and there seems to be an element which in fact is fanning this whole anti-India sentiments here in Dhaka.
A historic Pak surrender, a big moment for India. Birth of a nation. Bangladesh born out of a bloody war. Pakistani genocide of Bengalis. India opened its doors to 10 million refugees fleeing those Pakistani atrocities. India trained, armed and backed the Mukti Bahini. India went to full-scale war. Nearly 3,900 Indian soldiers died so Bangladesh could exist. Two countries bound by shared sacrifice as the moral foundation. That was December 1971. December 2025, that foundation is now being deliberately dismantled. The Yunus government has made it a state policy to destroy symbols of the 1971 war, erasing Bangladesh's origin story and India's role in order to pander to Islamist radicals. The recent anti-India protests and attacks on Indian missions are not isolated events. It's been happening for over a year since the ouster of Sheikh Hasina. Anti-India and anti-liberation war sentiments are being flamed and radicals have been given a free hand. As Hasina fled the bloodthirsty mob, they went after the father of their nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, dismantling his statues and setting his ancestral home on fire. The emboldened radicals have attacked Indian cultural centers, memorials erected for the liberation war martyrs. War murals have been defaced. In 1971, Jamaat-e-Islami collaborated with the Pakistan Army. In 2025, Yunus has lifted the ban and brought Jamaat's ideology back into the mainstream. Founding principles of liberation war, nationalism, secularism, socialism and democracy today stand in ruins. Hindus are being attacked and killed with impunity as radicals have all but staged a coup and Yunus just watches from the sidelines. Institutionalized erasure of Bangladesh's history is actively playing out with the clear purpose of erasing its indelible links with India. It's not a diplomatic shift, it's a betrayal. NDTV Bureau Report.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Dhaka on NDTV to bring you the latest updates from the very ground zero. But what I want to also, in fact, speak about is the rising tensions between both India and Bangladesh. Now, remember, this is a very important, crucial juncture as far as the relationship between India and Bangladesh is concerned. While on one hand, the ties are strained, there is a sense that it is being done because of the realignment that Bangladesh is seeing, with China and Pakistan. There is a lot at play and a lot of, games that are being played in this very important strategic war. My colleague Shivaru breaks down the reasons of why there is a rise, in fact, as far as the radical elements in Bangladesh is concerned, and also with a very strategic realignment with Pakistan and China, how this is impacting and straining ties between India and Bangladesh.
Now I want to show you just how things have changed and why a turn has taken place in what was otherwise a very, very close relationship between the two countries. Why has Bangladesh turned? This is my theory. Number one, generational discontinuity. Generational discontinuity is one of the main reasons for this. Number two, the collapse of the 1971 consensus, where India and Bangladesh always agreed that the 1971 war that liberated Bangladesh was something that held the two countries together. Number three, the rise of new political forces in Bangladesh, like the ones that are ruling right now. Number four, the rise of Islamic radicalism that is a threat to the entire world finds a safe haven in Bangladesh, even in its mainstream. Number five, US deep state intervention, definitely something on the table. And number six, the strategic alignment by the Yunus government with Pakistan and China and shifting away. This story, if you boil it and distill it down, is basically a story of two Decembers, my friends. 1971 December when the war happened, and December 2025 that we are in right now. And there couldn't be a bigger distance between these two Decembers, because in 1971 December, India provided refuge to 10 million Bangladeshis fleeing Pakistani atrocities. In December 2025, the Yunus government has been hosting the Pakistan army and is set to sign a defense deal, according to some reports. In December 1971, India trained, armed and supported the Mukti Bahini, the brave Mukti Bahini forces, the resistance force in Bangladesh. In December 2025, the Yunus government has unbanned the anti-India Jamaat-e-Islami. In 1971 December, India launched a full-scale liberation war for Bangladesh, the 1971 war. In December 2025, the Yunus government permits atrocities on minority Hindus. In December 1971, India sacrificed 3,900 military personnel to liberate Bangladesh in that war, not to speak of the thousands who died in Bangladesh as well. 2025 December, Yunus government wrongly accuses India of Hadi's assassination. In December 1971, India led post-war reconstruction of Bangladesh more than any other nation. In December 2025, the Yunus government permits threats to the Indian high commissions and consulates. In December 1971, India was the biggest supporter of Bangladesh's post-war rise. In 2025 December, the Yunus government is expected, according to some reports, to sign a strategic pact with Pakistan, which may even have a nuclear angle.
All right, that's what, in fact, my colleague Shiv, in fact, summing up why is the situation so anti-India at this moment from Bangladesh. But let me very quickly once again remind you, ladies and gentlemen, as I said at the beginning of this program, that one very important political event which is being keenly watched now in Bangladesh is the return of Tarique Rahman. From Usman, Hadi's killers to minorities coming together, he spoke, he made all the right noises. But how much will that translate and turn the future of this country is still awaited. Let's once again listen in to Tarique Rahman on his return after 17 years to Bangladesh.
কয়েকদিন আগে এই বাংলাদেশের 24 আন্দোলনের এক সাহসী প্রজন্মের এক সাহসী সদস্য ওসমান হাদিকে হত্যা করা হয়েছে। ওসমান হাদি শহীদ হয়েছে। প্রিয় ভাই বোনেরা, ওসমান হাদি চেয়েছিল এই দেশের মানুষের জন্য গণতন্ত্র প্রতিষ্ঠিত হোক, এই দেশের মানুষের গণতান্ত্রিক অধিকার প্রতিষ্ঠিত হোক, এই দেশের মানুষ তাদের গণতান্ত্রিক এবং অর্থনৈতিক অধিকার ফিরে পাক। মার্টিন লুথার কিং তার একটি বিখ্যাত ডায়লগ আছে, I have a dream. আজ এই বাংলাদেশের মাটিতে দাঁড়িয়ে আপনাদের সকলের সামনে আমি বলতে চাই, বাংলাদেশ জাতীয়তাবাদী দলের একজন সদস্য হিসাবে আপনাদের সামনে আমি বলতে চাই, I have a plan for the people of my country.
All right, that was, ladies and gentlemen, the special broadcast that we were bringing to you from Dhaka. At this moment, NDTV is on the ground getting you a ringside view of the unprecedented tensions and the prevailing situation, the turmoil in the country. Whether it is the rising sense of violence and extremism, in fact, violence and extremism against the minorities, or also an attack on the symbols of 1971, along with anybody, including the media, who is speaking against the radical elements. From rising anti-India sentiments, we are on the ground to bring you a ringside view, a 360-degree view, not only of the current situation, but also its impact on India, Southeast Asia, and the world. With my colleague Momin, this is Ankit Tyagi signing off from Dhaka for NDTV.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll. High stakes Mumbai battle loading. Can BJP extend Maha winning streak? Existential fight for the Sena. Can the Congress strike a comeback? Maha civic body, massive implications. NDTV tracks the Maha build-up, battleground BMC.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am, we are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
3, 2, 1, and lift off.
It's a dream that everyone has harbored at some point in their lives. The second Indian to travel to space. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla joins us today on NDTV.
So I like to say, when you launch one person into space, you actually lift a million here on Earth. Bharat aaj bhi sare jahan se acha dikhai deta hai. It is really beautiful sight.
This was one of the most magical, mystical performances we've seen.
This is like a shrine.
Coming and listening to you is like seeing a maestro perform at that shrine.
I think it was when Air sang himself for the longest while. Yes, that for me was special.
When the first claps came in, I think my only prayers was all of you should be healed. May God give you a lot of prosperity, health, love, long life.
I was mesmerized. I think it is one of the most magical evenings that I've spent.
बहुत ही अच्छा.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, A.R. Rahman is unmatchable.
It connected me to some spirituality.
This is India for me. This is India. This India I grew up, and this India I'm seeing now. It will never change.
When you have somebody like an A.R. Rahman, legend, maestro, I don't know which word should we choose. It was just a treat.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. Stop. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog, only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Actor of the Year.
Director of the Year.
Debutant Director of the Year.
Sports Performance of the Year.
The Actor of the Year award goes to.
And the award for NDTV Science Icon of the Year.
Welcome to the 20th edition of NDTV Indian of the Year 2025.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They're now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Shiv Arur, NDTV.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
You're watching Automotive, your go-to guide for everything in mobility. My name is Siddharth Sharma and we are closing out this year with this special episode. 2025 was packed with wild rides, viral moments and big tech shifts. So what's next? Stick around and we've lined up the future for you. Cars, bikes, EV talks, trends and the top highlights from the year 2025. So let's dive in. Let's start with the big one, four wheels and the future. Mohit takes us through the cars that will make headlines in 2026.
2026 is all set to be a high-revving year. First up is the Renault Duster. Mark your dates. January 26th is when it all starts, with the all-new Duster. This is the nameplate that's responsible for making India obsessed with compact SUVs. Like Sierra was an important comeback in 2025, 2026 is reserved for the Duster's comeback. Styling will be retained from the global spec model. Sharper and bolder lines, bigger everything and way more tech forward than what you have ever seen on any Renault car in India. Renault is clearly betting big on nostalgia, bringing back a badge that once ruled our hearts and now reborn for a new generation. Second on the list, the Maruti Suzuki's firstborn electric SUV, the e-Vitara. This one's a big deal for India's largest car maker. The e-Vitara will offer two battery options, a 49 kWh pack for the single motor front wheel drive setup and a larger 61 kWh pack paired with a dual motor configuration. Range a claimed 543 kilometers, packing a 5-star BNCAP rating, 7 airbags and level 2 ADAS. Launch is expected early next year, with prices likely starting around Rs 18 to 19 lakh ex-showroom. Third on the list is the Kia Sorento. This one's an exclusive and you're hearing it first from us. Kia's premium 7-seater SUV has been spotted testing on Indian roads, and 2026 could finally be the year it graces our showrooms. If Kia nails the pricing, this could easily become the flagship ICE SUV offering in India and give segment stalwarts like the Toyota Fortuner and MG Gloster a run for their money. And now, a new name, and perhaps the boldest, smallest on this list, the VinFast VF3. Vietnam's EV powerhouse is charging into India with sky-high ambitions. 2 models are already on sale, but the VF3, well, that amplifies the big play for the masses. Think pocket-sized, city-friendly and irresistibly cute, with a boxy SUV-inspired design that's actually smaller than an Alto. Underneath, it packs a 215km range, a top speed of 100 kmph and a 175mm ground clearance on a short wheelbase. The VF3 is gearing up to take on the Comet head-on. And if VinFast plays its card right, this little underdog could become the EV equivalent of the Alto. Simple, small and electric. It's the kind of story everyone loves to root for. And 2026, that could be the year this underdog steals the spotlight. Last on the list, but certainly not the least, the Ferrari Amalfi. Ferrari has bid goodbye to the Roma, and the page was turned with something even more breathtaking, the Amalfi. It replaces the Roma as Ferrari's mid-engine ground tourer, blending timeless elegance with cutting-edge performance. And here's the big news. The Amalfi could go on sale in India as early as next year, with an expected price tag of around 4.5 to 5 crores ex-showroom. Well, Ferrari isn't just replacing a car. It is redefining the art of Grand Tourer. The question is, are you ready for the Amalfi experience or not yet?
Which car is your favorite pick from the list? For me, it's the VinFast VF3. Now, moving on to the big question, should you go electric in the year 2026? Anirban Mitra has all the answers.
Is India ready for electric vehicles? As we step into 2026, it's time to look at the bigger picture. Facts, figures, and trends that define the electric mobility journey. Well, numbers speak louder than words, and let's look at what data says. India's electric passenger vehicle market surged with over 160,000 units sold from January to November, marking a 78% year-on-year growth. Leading players like Tata Motors, JSW, MG and Mahindra dominate this segment. This sharp rise signals a strong uptake in consumer acceptance of electric cars nationwide. Global EV trends are peculiar. China achieved 50% auto sales in 2025 through EVs. Globally, every fourth vehicle sold is an electric vehicle. Emerging markets like Thailand and Vietnam have outpaced advanced economies. Europe's EV adoption has slowed down amid subsidy cut, high costs, and Chinese competition. This has prompted the EU to rethink its 2035 ban on gasoline vehicles. Let's shift our spotlight back on India. The electric two-wheeler sales have taken a temporary hit. GST revision on small commuter motorcycles have made them more affordable, hence driving away some sales from electric two-wheelers. Resultant, the rate of adoption that we saw earlier in 2025 went down, especially the sales in the month of November. The bigger picture reflects optimism. Manufacturers are riding high on confidence. Market leaders like TVS, Bajaj, Ather and Hero are seeing a surge. Here is the big number. EV penetration in two-wheelers crossed the 5% mark in 2025. 2025 wasn't just about impressive sales numbers. Manufacturers kept the momentum going with a slew of new-age electric vehicles. Well, these battled it out to grab your attention. Range, performance, features, practicality, design. Well, every new electric vehicle had something different to offer. India's EV market is poised for a strong growth in 2026, driven by new launches, better charging infrastructure, and supportive policies. EV penetration in passenger vehicles is expected to hit double digits. 2025 saw major moves from Mahindra, Tata, Hyundai, while entry from VinFast and Tesla reinforced global confidence in India's EV journey. In 2025, electric two-wheelers found their footing. TVS iQube, Bajaj Chetak, Hero Vida, Ather Rista, and the list is pretty long. They became household names thanks to their practicality. 2026 promises to be a premium revolution. Royal Enfield, Ultraviolet, Yamaha are all gearing up to redefine the segment with high-end performance offerings. Maruti Suzuki is strengthening its EV ecosystem, and its first ever electric car, e-Vitara, should be in the market soon. Expect Hyundai, Honda, VW to push for the electric mobility alongside homegrown manufacturers. We had a chance to interact with a senior VP from Kia India to understand how manufacturers are looking at India's EV story. Where do you see 2026 going? Do you see customers gravitating towards more electric? What is the general trends towards electric cars?
If you look at absolute numbers, electric contribution to the total PC market as of now is about 4.5%. So it has seen a good growth over the previous year. So there's no doubt. Even the hybrids at about 2.4%, the growth is positive. So we are seeing with government policies, this will continue, and I'm sure there is regulation also which is going to happen come CAFE 3 in 2027, April. To comply with that, we need to have the right electrified technology in our ambit so that we can comply with the norms.
India's electric mobility push isn't just market-driven, it's backed by strong government initiatives. The PLI scheme for auto and components is fueling domestic manufacturing of advanced automotive technologies, including EVs. Meanwhile, the PM eDrive program is incentivizing electric two-wheelers, electric three-wheelers, trucks, buses, ambulances, and even public charging infra. That's not all. Automakers are getting benefits for localizing EV production in India. India's electric vehicle battery manufacturing is accelerating, powered by PLI schemes and major investment from the likes of Tata, Ola, Suzuki and Amara. These firms are building local gigafactories for lithium-ion cells, reducing import dependence and focusing on advanced technologies in the growing EV market. The message is clear: sustainable mobility is national pride. Electric vehicles bring a host of advantages on table. For owners, it means zippy performance, low cost of ownership, and zero tailpipe emission. With so many factors like technology, versatility, practicality all aligning, well, 2026 could be the year where electric vehicles become the mainstream.
An electric car without tech is like a Bollywood movie without songs. So up next, we tell you all the futuristic tech trends that you will see in the automotive space.
The Indian auto industry is shifting gears, and in the year 2026, well, it is going to be a landmark year for the industry. From safer cars to smarter bikes and tech that will come straight out of science fiction, the future of mobility is tech and feature loaded. So let's dive into 5 automotive trends that will shape the industry for the year 2026. Safety is no longer a luxury. So first up, ADAS, Advanced Driver Assistance System. Now this is trickling down from luxury cars to the mainstream models. Features like adaptive cruise control, emergency brake assist and even self-parking are now available on mass market models like the Hyundai Creta, Hyundai Venue, Kia Sonet and even Honda Amaze. And with Bharat NCAP pushing stricter norms on safety regulations, the Indian highways could soon become safer. And we might even see FSD, the fully self-driving cars. Next up, electric vehicles. The year 2026 will be a tipping point for EV adoption in the country. Better government incentives and larger charging infrastructures, falling battery costs will mean that electric vehicles won't be a niche any longer. More importantly, Maruti Suzuki is entering this space with the e-Vitara, which is big if anything. After all, the car maker has erected a huge charging network of over 2,000 charging points. And with charging times coming down and range going up to over 500 kilometers, electric cars will see higher adoption in India next year. Cars are turning into tech lounges. And triple screen layout is the next big thing. One for the driver, one for the passenger, and one for the central infotainment screen. And recently we have seen models like the Tata Harrier EV, Mahindra XEV 9S following this suit. In fact, tech chipset manufacturers like Snapdragon and MediaTek are also participating in this race. After all, they are the one running these large displays. So much so, models like Harrier EV have also showcased Samsung's QLED display, showcasing that displays are a primary concern for buyers now. And in India, where rear seat comfort is king, expect a whole lot more fun now. Now let's talk two-wheelers. India is the largest bike market in the world, and the safety is finally catching up in this segment. Smart helmets with Bluetooth connectivity, navigation alerts, and even crash alerts will become mainstream. Some of them will even connect with your motorcycle to play music and attend phone calls. Some will even sync with your helmets for voice commands and phone calls. In the automotive business, convenience is safety. And that's a win for riders everywhere. And finally, hydrogen cars. While electric vehicles are making headlines, hydrogen fuel cell technology is silently gaining traction. Globally, brands like Hyundai and Toyota are working on it, and India is trying to explore it too. But why hydrogen? Well, easy refueling, long range, and zero emissions. Perfect for commercial vehicles and fleets. And in all likelihood, the year 2026 could mark the commencement of India's hydrogen journey. So that's your sneak peek at India's big 2026 garage. Smarter, safer, and more connected than ever.
Alright, that was a deep dive into the future of cars and EVs. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we will be getting you all the latest that you can expect from the world of motorcycles, as well as the top highlights of the year 2025. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and we'll be back right after these short messages.
The front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig, until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Masterstroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Masterstroke Art Awards. An odyssey of creative brilliance, where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
3, 2, 1, and lift off.
It's a dream that everyone has harbored at some point in their lives. The second Indian to travel to space. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla joins us today on NDTV.
So I like to say, when you launch one person into space, you actually lift a million here on Earth. Bharat aaj bhi sare jahan se acha dikhai deta hai. It is really beautiful sight.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll. High stakes Mumbai battle loading. Can BJP extend Maha winning streak? Existential fight for the Sena. Can the Congress strike a comeback? Maha civic body, massive implications. NDTV tracks the Maha build-up, battleground BMC.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am, we are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
3, 2, 1, and lift off.
It's a dream that everyone has harbored at some point in their lives. The second Indian to travel to space. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla joins us today on NDTV.
So I like to say, when you launch one person into space, you actually lift a million here on Earth. Bharat aaj bhi sare jahan se अच्छा दिखाई देता है. It is really beautiful sight.
This was one of the most magical.
Welcome back. I'm your automate Siddharth Sharma. Now, there is a saying that 4 wheels move your body and 2 wheels move your soul. So up next, Anirban Mitra tells you everything that's revving up in the world of two-wheelers in the year 2026. And yes, electric is the buzzword here too.
If you have been on the fence about owning a new two-wheeler, hold on to it a little longer as we guide you to explore what's coming to the market in 2026. From electrics to adventure motorcycles, saddle up as we are about to zip through the coolest yet most important upcoming two-wheeler launches of 2026. Come 2026, we'll get to meet the C6. And what makes it special? The brand's first electric motorcycle will be an agile city rider loaded with an electric motor, super cool tech, and still have Royal Enfield's DNA. While the C6 will steal the show, Royal Enfield also plans to launch the Himalayan 750 and Bullet 650 hitting the roads for the loyal fans. But do not expect the REC6 to be an affordable e-bike. Prices are expected to be north of 2 lakh rupees on this. Next up, Yamaha Aerox. A popular nameplate in scooter market, Aerox is all set to go electric in 2026. The electric avatar of this maxi scooter blends performance, practicality and style. Yamaha showed us a glimpse of the Aerox E in 2025 and it looked promising. It is powered by a 9.4 kilowatt motor using a 3 kilowatt hour battery and has a claimed range of 106 kilometers. This scooter is expected to be priced around 2 lakh rupees ex-showroom. This is one of the most awaited BMW GS models, and it is also on its way for you in 2026. The F450 GS will soon be the entry point to the BMW motorcycles. The production-ready variant was showcased at EICMA 2025. The twin-cylinder motorcycle will be manufactured in India for the world. In terms of specification, the F450 GS delivers 48 horsepower and 43 Nm of peak torque. It promises to be punchy on highways and comfortable for long distances. It might even be the most expensive entry-level adventure tourer in India, with prices expected to start above 4 lakh rupees ex-showroom. Next up is the ultraviolet Shockwave. It will be the first of its kind lightweight electric enduro motorcycle in India. Bengaluru-based Ultraviolet Automotive is all set to redefine the electric motorcycle game. Its pricing has already grabbed eyeballs with the pre-launch bookings opening at 1,50,000 rupees ex-showroom. Loaded with plethora of features, the Shockwave offers switchable dual-channel ABS, LED lights, 4 levels of traction control and 6 levels of dynamic regeneration. Expect the real-world range of around 150 kilometers and a top speed of 120 clicks an hour. Now in 2025, GST benefits played a key role for motorcycle companies to decide what engine options will suit their plans. Bajaj was quick to react to this, and we could see all the Bajaj and Triumph 400cc lineup downsized to a new 350cc engine. So expect your Triumph Speed 400 to become Speed 350 and your Pulsar NS400Z to be christened as NS350Z. And that's not all. 2026 is expected to be full of fireworks with Brixton's new adventure motorcycle, KTM's entry-level RC and TVS-backed Norton making its India debut.
Well, it's time to check out some of the coolest viral moments of the year 2025. Amulya rounds this one up. Let's roll.
This year, cars and bikes didn't just drive headlines. They hijacked your For You page. Stole your timelines, broke your algorithms and turned gearheads into meme lords. From F1 fairy tales to Fortuner flexes, here are 5 automotive moments that had many glued to their screens. Starting the story with the superhero moment. Mahindra rolled out the BE6 in full Batmobile swagger with matte wrap, glowing accents and alloys that practically said, "I am vengeance." For the first time, an Indian car maker teamed up with DC and the internet lost its collective mind. Suddenly, timelines were flooded with one line, "India's Batmobile is here." This was pure Gotham energy straight out of Mahindra's plant. And while Batman got his ride, poor Superman was still waiting for his version of a car. Maybe Mahindra's next collab. While Mahindra was moving in the shadows, there were Chinese manufacturers trying to launch themselves into the light. Chery, a Chinese car maker, tried to steal Range Rover's glory but ended up with a failure. Social media being social media, they started blasting them with roast and it was the way to go. The clip looped for days, becoming a major disaster for the brand. For many, it became proof that one epic flop beats 1,000 spec sheets. Then came Sierra. Well, before the event, the internet was already obsessed with one ridiculous question. Could 100 men take down one gorilla? Memes, reels and hot takes were everywhere. Then Tata Motors decided to crash the party literally. They didn't bring fur and fangs but chromes and curves. Enter the Sierra comeback. Suddenly, nostalgia hit like a speeding SUV. But Tata wasn't done. Instead of just revealing the price, they flexed the Sierra's strength in the most dramatic way possible. They smashed one Sierra into another. Forget walls, this was Sierra versus Sierra, and the internet ate it up. So while the gorilla debate may never be settled, Tata Motors walked away with the real win. Up next, we have diplomacy's most desi moment. Vladimir Putin touches down in Delhi. You would expect a shiny limo parade, right? Wrong. Instead, PM Modi slides into the passenger seat of a white made-in-India Toyota Fortuner. Forget the motorcade glamour. This was a casual airport cruise that screamed SUVs are better than sedan. And the internet, it went into overdrive. Fortuner owners suddenly felt like they were part of an elite diplomatic club. Memes popped up faster than traffic jams in Bangalore. Did sales spike overnight? Hard to say. But one thing's for sure, Fortuner owners flexed harder than ever. WhatsApp groups lit up, reels showed proud owners polishing their SUVs, and the captions read, "Diplomatic duties, but make it desi." Finally, we have our final stop in Abu Dhabi. This is where Lando Norris's F1 fairy tale got its happy end. The Abu Dhabi Showdown wasn't just another race. It was F1's feel-good finale of the decade. The kind of sporting moment that makes you believe in happy endings. This wasn't just another race. It was feel-good finale we all needed. Like F1's version of a blockbuster rom-com with papaya power as the hero. Think about it, years of near misses, memes and Lando curse jokes. Then boom, WDC glory. The social media noticed and witnessed the McLaren garage going feral. Us Indians, we went straight on a nostalgia trip with clips of baby Lando on carts to Papaya King. And that's a wrap on 2025, a year when engines roared louder than algorithms. If this is the future of car culture, we are all riding the viral wave.
From all your NDTV automates, have a fantastic new year. Do not forget to follow us on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter for all the latest updates. and behind-the-scene action. Until next time, wear a seatbelt, follow speed limits, and respect the drivers around you. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Actor of the Year.
Director of the Year.
Debutant Director of the Year.
Sports Performance of the Year.
The Actor of the Year award goes to.
And the award for NDTV Science Icon of the Year.
Welcome to the 20th edition of NDTV Indian of the Year 2025.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Shiv Arur, NDTV.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Rajkol, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Front lines of Kargil, the fury of Operation Sindhu,
so many attacks,
the chaos and cries of disaster zones, to fighter jet cockpits, and the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break, live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
Thanks for being with the Southern View here on NDTV with me, Shiv Arur, wishing all of our viewers in India and across the world a very, very Merry Christmas. Thanks as always for being with us. Let's get you straight to the headlines. Prime Minister Modi unveils saffron icon statues in Lucknow, targets Congress over one family rule, says everything was once named after a single family and only their statues were erected. The Prime Minister asserts that the nation must free themselves from mindset of dynastic dominance.
परिवारवादियों के लिए दूसरों की लकीर छोटी करना मजबूरी हो जाता है ताकि उनके परिवार का कद बड़ा दिखे.
Rahul Gandhi praises Foxconn's Karnataka ramp up, Lord's new women-headed iPhone unit. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav thanks him for acknowledging Prime Minister Modi's vision for manufacturing in India. Mega political development in Maharashtra. Sharad Pawar faction in touch with Ajit faction for the Pune civic polls. After Thackeray's, are the Pawars set to reunite? Showdown over bail to rape accused ex-BJP MLA Kuldeep Singh Sengar. Plea in Supreme Court against bail to convicted rapist. CBI 2 to challenge bail order by the Delhi High Court. Telugu actor Sivaji's sexist remark shaming Nidhi Agarwal for getting mobbed. He says she was mobbed because of what she was wearing. Nidhi hits back, says victim blaming is manipulation. We're starting with breaking news coming in from Bangladesh that's already on the boil. One person has been killed in a mob beating over an extortion allegation in Rajbari in Bangladesh. The accomplice has been held with weapons. A man was beaten to death by a mob in Rajbari's Panksha Upazila last night over an extortion allegation. The police has said the incident took place around 11 p.m. And the reason why we're reporting a mob beating of a man is because both Bangladesh and parts of India have been up in arms for the last few days over the communal mob lynching of a Hindu man in Bangladesh named Deepu Chandra Das. Now, this particular individual who's been killed in this new incident has been identified as Amrit Mondal, also known as Samrat, a resident of the same village, also a Hindu, but it is not clear if there is any communal angle in all of this. I want to bring in NDTV's Ankit Tyagi, who's on the ground in Bangladesh, reporting live on all of the unfolding tensions in that country. Ankit, a mob lynching in Rajbari. What are you hearing about it?
Shiv, I'm in Dhaka right now, and Rajbari is about 3 hours from here, from Dhaka. The latest news coming in is that this man who has been killed, Hindu, in fact, man Amrit Mondal, also known as Samrat, he used to run an outfit called Samrat Bahini. And he was in fact beaten up. The allegation is that he went to somebody's place. He has criminal cases against him, and he went to somebody's place demanding extortion. People in fact raised an alarm, and then his accomplices in fact fled, and he was caught and brutally beaten up.
I'll try and correct that audio and come back to you. We're unable to hear you clearly. The voice is dropping. I'll try and fix that and come back to you. Aditya Rajkol, our senior executive editor, is also live with me. Aditya, Amrit Mondal, a Hindu, happens to be a Hindu, also beaten to death by a rabid mob. Was there a communal angle in this? The details are still just coming in. Obviously, everyone is on high alert because of the Deepu Das story. What are you hearing about this one, Aditya?
Well, this happened in Rajbari of Bangladesh, Shiv. This is, of course, a second mob justice that has happened in Bangladesh under the watch of Mohammed Yunus. What has really happened is that this particular person, Amrit Mondal, had visited, according to the police, a residence of a person called Shahidul and demanded money. Now, Shahidul claims that this was extortion and these were robbers. He created an alarm there. And then a lot of, there was a nuisance. A lot of people collected in that area and started beating Amrit Mondal. And that resulted in the lynching of Amrit Mondal, and he died on the spot. So a second Hindu has been killed. We do not know whether there is is a communal angle to it, but certainly it is a mob lynching angle. So this is clearly lynching of a second Hindu that has taken place in Yunus's regime in Bangladesh. And Shiv, this is troubling. Because, normally in a democratic country, there's police, there is paramilitary, there is, of course, investigation that carries forward. But in Yunus's regime, it seems that there is a open, system of mob lynching that is allowed, particularly against minorities, be it Hindus, Christians, or Ahmadiyas. And certainly there will be investigation and perhaps we'll get more details. But it seems to be unfortunate that another lynching has taken place at a time when Bangladesh is simmering and the situation is deteriorating.
So there's no communal angle that has emerged or is not visible just yet, but it is vigilante justice, which is troubling by itself. It shows a complete fearlessness by mobs in Yunus's Bangladesh to execute the kind of kangaroo court justice that is being seen, whether in Dhaka, whether in Rajbari, whether it is in other places. This is very, very scary what's going on in Bangladesh. Aditya and Ankit, thank you very much for that. And now on to our lead story tonight. Actor Sivaji, a very well-known superstar actor in the Telugu film industry, is lecturing his fellow actors in Tollywood about the clothes they're wearing. The immediate instigation this time is Nidhi Agarwal. Nidhi Agarwal is an actor whose video being mobbed by a frenzied crowd of fans outside a mall in Hyderabad has become one of the most viral images of the year. Well, guess what superstar Sivaji had to say? He said, well, that's because of the clothes she is wearing, and women should cover up their bodies. And if you don't cover your body, you're basically inviting this kind of thing. That was the insinuation from this shameless actor. Well, despite an apology, Sivaji continues to lecture and moralize on women as if he's a custodian of what women should wear and what their bodies are subjected to on the streets. Despite an apology, he continues to lecture. In the latest, Sivaji has said that girls should not wear clothes that provoke and that middle-class values must be respected. Remember, a few days back, Sivaji had faced a backlash for his remarks at his film's pre-release event, where he said that beauty lies in full clothing, not displaying physical assets. The actor had later apologized for this, obviously because of public anger and media heat. And in his apology, the actor alluded to the Agarwal mobbing case to defend him. Reacting to this now, Nidhi Agarwal has broken her silence and taken to Instagram, reacting to Sivaji's clarification, saying, blaming the victim is called manipulation. Blaming the victim is called manipulation, says Nidhi Agarwal, the young star who was mobbed shamefully outside that mall. I want to keep those pictures on our screen right now because those are pictures that every Indian should see as to what even a privileged star actor can go through in full public view. Let's put those pictures on our screen. I want to go full screen on those pictures of Nidhi getting mobbed because that is the image that I am talking about. Can we make those pictures big on the screen? Singer Chinmay Sripada has also reacted to Sivaji's comment, saying that Sivaji has exposed his misogyny and it shows how unsafe it will be for women to work with him.
దయచేసి ఇంకో విషయం చెబుతున్నా, అమ్మాయిలు హీరోయిన్లు ఏ బట్టలు పెడితే వేసుకొని పోతే మనమే దరిద్రం అనుభవించాల్సి వస్తమ్మా. ఏమనుకోవద్దు, హీరోయిన్లు అందరూ మీరు అనుకున్నా నాకు పోయేది లేదు, లాగి పీకుతాం మనం, అది వేరే విషయం. కానీ మీ అందం చీరలోనో మీ అందం నిండుగా కప్పుకునే బట్టల్లోనే ఉంటుంది తప్పితే సామాను కనపడే దాంట్లో ఏముండదమ్మా. అవి వేసుకున్నంత మాత్రాన చాలామంది చూసినప్పుడు నవ్వుతూ అంటారు కానీ దేద్రముండ ఎలాంటి బట్టలు ఎందుకు వేసుకుని కాస్త మంచి వేసుకోవచ్చుగా, బాగుంటావు కదా అనే అనాలనిపిస్తుంది లోపల. నిన్న సాయంత్రం దండోరా ప్రీ రిలీజ్ ఈవెంట్లో హీరోయిన్స్ ఈ మధ్య కాలంలో వాళ్ళు ఇబ్బంది పడ్డ సందర్భంలో 4 మంచి మాటలు చెప్పాలని చెప్తూనే రెండు అన్పార్లమెంటరీ వర్డ్స్ నేను యూజ్ చేయడం జరిగింది. డెఫినెట్గా ఎవరికైనా వాళ్ళ మనోభావాలు దెబ్బతింటాయి. నేను మాట్లాడింది అమ్మాయిలందరినీ ఉద్దేశించి కాదు. హీరోయిన్స్ బయటకు వెళ్ళినప్పుడు బట్టలు జాగ్రత్తగా ఉంటే మీకు ఇబ్బంది ఉండదేమో మా అమ్మ అనే ఉద్దేశం తప్ప నేను ఎవరిని అవమానపరచాలని కాదు. బట్ ఏదైనా రెండు అన్పార్లమెంటరీ వర్డ్స్ దొర్లినాయి. దానికి మై సిన్సియర్ అపాలజీస్. అండ్
in Lulu Mall 1 week back निधि अग्रवाल जी वहाँ पे एक फंक्शन में गया. इतना बड़ा मॉब है वो, खींचने लगा. शी वेयर हाफ ऑफ ड्रेसेस. आई सा हर फेस, इतना एम्ब्रासिंग है उसको. मेरे को लगा आई हैव टू टेल दिस, आई हैव टू एड्रेस दिस. सो वो टाइम में दो अनपार्लियामेंट्री वर्ड्स यूज किया. सो इट इज रॉन्ग. आई सेड सॉरी, थैंक यू. बट मैंने जो भी कहा मैं उस बात पे खड़ा हूं.
బట్టలు వేసుకున్నా
గౌరవంగా ఉండాలి ఆడవాళ్ళతో.
అంటే చాలామంది నిన్న కామెంట్స్లో కొన్ని పదాలు వాడారమ్మా. నాకు ఆశ్చర్యం వేసింది ఆ పదాలు. ఎప్పుడన్నా సాయి పల్లవిని ఎవరన్నా టచ్ చేశారా? ఎప్పుడన్నా అనుష్కని ఎవరన్నా టచ్ చేశారా? ఎప్పుడన్నా సౌందర్య గారిని ఎవరన్నా టచ్ చేసిన సందర్భాలు విన్నామా? ఇలా చాలామంది లయాని ఎవరన్నా ఆమెను చూడగానే మా ఇంట్లో అమ్మాయి అని అంటారు. ఆవిడ మీరా జాస్మిన్ నిండుగా, మలయాళీస్ అందరు కూడా బయట నిండుగా శారీస్ కట్టుకొని వస్తారు. నేను మిమ్మల్ని అందరు అమ్మ దండం పెడతాను, మీరు ఎట్టొచ్చినా మీ ఇష్టం, నాకు సంబంధం లేదు. అలాగే ఒక నిమిషం లక్ష్మి గారు, ఒక నిమిషం నన్ను మాట్లాడండి. అలాగే భూమిక గారిని ఎన్నోసార్లు వచ్చింది ఆవిడ. ఎవరన్నా టచ్ చేశారు ఆవిడ్ని? నేను అంటున్నాను, ప్రొవోక్ చేయకూడదు. ప్రొవోక్ చేసినట్టు అనిపించినప్పుడు మీరు అన్నదానికి కుర్రాళ్ళు ఆహా నువ్వు ఇలా ఉంటావా, వాళ్ళు పందాలు వేసుకుంటారు. పిల్లలుండి చిన్నపిల్లలు, మన పిల్లలు వాళ్ళు. నేను అంటాను మనం ఎందుకు అవకాశం ఇవ్వాలి అనేది నా ఉద్దేశం తప్ప మీ ఇష్టం అండి. మీరు బట్టలు వేసుకున్నా, ఇంకా మంచి బట్టలు వేసుకున్నా, ఆ తర్వాత మీ ఇష్టం, మీ ఫ్యామిలీ, మీరందరూ సమాజానికి అగెయిన్స్ట్గా వెళ్ళినా ఉన్నా. నేను మాత్రం కోరుకునేది ఒకటి, ఈ జనరేషన్ ఆడపిల్లలకి, అమ్మా నేను ఒకటి చెప్తున్నాను, మిడిల్ క్లాస్ ఎక్కువ ఈ దేశంలో, మరీ ముఖ్యంగా మన తెలుగు పిల్లలు. నేను చెప్పేది ఒకటేది, మీరు పాటించమని నేను అంటల్లా, జరిగే అనర్థాల గురించి మాత్రం చెప్తాను. జాగ్రత్తగా ఉండండి, ఇంతకన్నా నేను చెప్పేది ఏం లేదు. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Chinmay Sripada, one of India's most well-known singers, but also one of the bravest people in the industry, joins me live now. Very few people are willing to speak out against misogyny and sexism, and Chinmay has done it consistently, not least because she has been at the receiving end of that same kind of misogyny and sexism in her career as well. Chinmay, good to see you. Welcome. Shivaji's words are hardly surprising. I don't think anybody is shocked by it. I'll come to the larger malaise in these film industries, but the immediate sort of impulse of an actor to comment on a woman's clothes after what was clearly a traumatizing experience for Nidhi Agarwal in this particular instance. Were you surprised? I know you weren't, but I'm still going to ask you that, Chinmay.
See, I'm not really seen somebody really come out and say this on stage in the manner that he did, in such a brazen manner, with the kind of slurs he used. End of the day, Nidhi Agarwal or somebody like that is actually his colleague. So I think not only Nidhi, there has been another event where another very, very popular superstar female actress was also mobbed, and she was also, kind of groped, and there was a lot of discomfort that she had to go through. She also was wearing a sari in that event.
Yeah.
It was a public event. But I think this entire thing about sari and everything comes with caveats for him. The sari needs to be covered to a certain extent, otherwise you are inviting assault. Now, I think the two things that he said, first thing, he used a slur, and he said, even if you think anything, I'm not going to do, I don't care a damn about it, because he says, "Lagi piki kodam." So I'm just going to hit you. He literally says, "I'm going to hit you anyway, no matter what you say." So it was disturbing at multiple levels, but the more disturbing thing I would say is the number of women, the number of men in civil society today who believe that what he said is absolutely right, and women are inviting this sort of assaults and harassment and abuse onto them only because of their clothes. This absolute lack of just basic awareness and education is what's even more traumatizing, because today we are living in a country, in a world where, as much as we speak about sexual abuse on women, the bigger, larger problem that I have been speaking on my socials for at least 7-8 years, is that young boys are equally, if not more, vulnerable than girls. There are no safe spaces for boys to speak about sexual abuse. There are no spaces for an 18-year-old boy to actually go and report a case of gang rape. Our laws still are not safe. They don't exist for a boy to safely go and report sexual abuse. And we have seen so many such cases where I think a minor boy was recently gang raped, and I don't know what happened to that. Then what do we do about it? The concept of sexual abuse and sexual assault itself is a crime that needs to be
Chinmay, is it, in the instance of Shivaji, is it because the entire history of the film industry, and we know that victim blaming is as old in the film industry as sexism and misogyny itself. But my question is it because nobody ever really pays a price for it? On the contrary, it seems like misogyny, sexism, and comments of this kind are in some ways almost incentivized in certain film industries. These things are cheered on. Fans like this kind of commentary. And that's the reason it happens?
That's precisely why. I think because I think this is very cool to say, and there is public support for this, because publics have the general youth and people on social media have been desensitized, and even those sane voices are really afraid of coming and speaking up on social media, because a couple of us who voiced this out and spoke up, there is torrential abuse. There is the amount of slurs and attack on the family, abusing my children, the kind of responses that we get. A few weeks ago, I spoke about something else, and one of the social media users, they had spaces on Twitter, and they said women like me should not have children, and even if we have children, they must die immediately. So these are the kind of discourse that they have here, and he also tends to give an example of girls, very popular actresses who are dressed according to the way that is acceptable to him. And he says, did it happen to this person, this person, this person, this person, this person? It has. Actually, worse has happened to these women on social media, where there are some really horrifying, disgusting, psychotic trends that have happened on social media, where I think even repeating this is very disturbing. It might even slightly affect them. So I want to keep that. But one of the ladies that he mentioned, actress, the late Soundarya, there have recently been images of her morphed in some really ugly ways, and she has passed away. I mean, which is why women's bodies, even if
they don't need to be alive for it to be manipulated.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So, this entire thing about what we need to do is to say that it's not about what we wear or how we present ourselves. And no matter what, no means no. I mean, and then there is also this counter theory that it's not just women who are assaulted in such mobs. Men are also assaulted. Precisely the point. Why aren't we talking about boundaries?
But in this case, Chinmay, final question. Nidhi has actually, usually we see actors kind of take it in their stride, swallow it, and just move on, because survival in some of these film industries means having to put up with this. Someone like you, had the agency and the guts and the courage to call it out, even at the risk of damaging your career in so many ways. But, someone like a Nidhi Agarwal has now put out on Instagram that victim blaming is manipulation. That's a huge risk, isn't it? That's a huge risk.
It is. It definitely is. But one, I do want to say that I think there were a couple of people on stage that day when he was rattling off. They were uncomfortable. Those two people also put out, Mr. Actor Navdeep and a couple of others from that event also put out a tweet saying that whatever he said was wrong. But yes, Nidhi is a young girl. She's not going to be having, expecting her to have the courage to call out this ecosystem, which is generally sexist and misogynist. And they expect girls, they can be around, but the moment they have a voice and say, listen, this is not what I want, they are abused in response. Nobody signs up for the kind of, abuse that we generally get for our opinion. Yeah.
We'll leave it there, Chinmay. Thank you very much for your time today on this very, very sensitive story. There's no end to it, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about it very soon again. Chinmay Sripada, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're taking a quick break. Much more coming up on the other side. Stay with NDTV.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Masterstroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Masterstroke Art Awards, an odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
3, 2, 1, and lift off.
It's a dream that everyone has harbored at some point in their lives. The second Indian to travel to space, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, joins us today on NDTV.
So I like to say, when you launch one person into space, you actually lift a million here on Earth. Bharat aaj bhi sare jahan se acha dikhai deta hai. It is really beautiful sight.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll. High stakes Mumbai battle loading. Can BJP extend Maha winning streak? Existential fight for the Sena. Can the Congress strike a comeback? Maha civic body, massive implications. NDTV tracks the Maha build-up, battleground BMC.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am, we are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
From the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
3, 2, 1, and lift off.
It's a dream that everyone has harbored at some point in their lives. The second Indian to travel to space, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, joins us today on NDTV.
So I like to say, when you launch one person into space, you actually lift a million here on Earth. Bharat aaj bhi sare jahan se acha dikhai deta hai. It is really beautiful sight.
This was one of the most magical, mystical performances we've seen.
This is like a shrine.
Coming and listening to you is like seeing a maestro perform at that shrine.
I think it
was when he had sang himself for the longest while. Yes, that for me was special.
When the first claps came in, I think my only prayers was all of you should be healed. May God give you a lot of prosperity, health, love, long life.
I was mesmerized.
I think it is one of the most magical evenings that I've spent.
बहुत ही अच्छा.
Beautiful.
Welcome to a special edition of India Sense. I'm Gauri Dwivedi, and this is an edition where we talk about why 2025 was a landmark year for India and its journey towards superpowerhood. From organizing the world's largest human gathering that the world has ever seen, which is the Mahakumbh, to launching an airstrike on Pakistan to retaliate for the Pahalgam terror attack, to hosting President Putin at a time when the world is scrambling for solutions to end the Ukraine war, to becoming the 5th largest economy in the world by dislodging the UK, it's been a phenomenal year for India. Add to it the launch of India's heaviest satellite and a much needed and a much celebrated win in Women's World Cup. We're going to try and cover all that for you viewers. This is a very special edition of India Sense.
सैकड़ों किलोमीटर दुश्मन की धरती पर घुस करके मिट्टी में मिला दिया.
Now, this was a year when India avenged the tragic terror attack with a deadly military assault on Pakistan that left most of its air bases in complete ruins. In Pahalgam, 26 Indians were killed, 25 of whom were butchered for being a Hindu. It was a genocide, and India responded to it in the strongest terms. It launched Operation Sindoor, avenged the Pahalgam terror attack. 2025 was a year when India set a new doctrine, drew a red line, declared that any act of terror is an act of war. India also dispatched its parliamentarians around the world to name and shame Pakistan, the world's biggest terror factory. So what all did we manage to do in those 4 days? Tell Pakistan not to mess with us ever again? This report has those answers.
The year 2025 witnessed a 4-day conflict between two nuclear neighbors as India avenged the Pak-perpetrated Pahalgam terror attack. In 4 days, India destroyed multiple Pakistani military bases, destroyed 9 major terror launch pads in Pakistan, and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. The message was clear. India established its air superiority over Pakistan and crippled its air assets, and ended the war after its military objectives were achieved.
India's bold and precise attacks restored the rightful place of offensive air action in the national consciousness. Our robust air defense architecture and offensive employment of long-range surface-to-air missile systems limited the adversary's freedom to operate and ensured safety of our vital assets.
जब जब पाकिस्तान एयरफोर्स ने हमारे एयरफील्ड्स और लॉजिस्टिक इंस्टॉलेशंस में 9 और 10 मई की रात को लगातार हमले किए, वो इस मजबूत एयर डिफेंस ग्रिड के सामने विफल हो गए.
But it didn't end there. India launched a global outreach campaign to name and shame Pakistan, the fountainhead of global terror. India sent 7 delegations comprising of 50 parliamentarians to 33 countries. A bipartisan exercise to send India's message to all global capitals that New Delhi's military response was the result of Pak-sponsored terrorist attack which identified Hindus and shot them in cold blood. The global campaign aimed to isolate Pakistan at all avenues, from FATF to the UN, and ensure Pakistan's terror financing lines are completely choked. Operation Sindoor brought to fore India's long-standing challenge regarding the Pakistan-China collusion. From intelligence to specific military inputs, Pakistan relied on China, was aided by Turkey and Azerbaijan, the two-front war for which New Delhi has long been prepared for.
The success of Operation Sindoor also brought to fore India's sustained investment and focus on indigenous defence manufacturing. In fact, indigenous defence production hit a record 1.27 lakh crore rupees. Exports, defence export, clocked upwards of 23,000 crore rupees. Well, nothing tells this better than the export of the BrahMos missile to Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, and 2026 looks at bringing all those countries a lot more from India. Now, it's unusual for a bilateral relationship to witness so many seesaws in just a single year. But 2025 was one such year for the India-US bilateral relationship. And now this is a very consequential bilateral partnership, viewers. Everything from closer ties from technology to trade, all of it gets packed in this relationship. So 2025 actually started, this year started with the Prime Minister meeting President Trump just 3 weeks into his presidential tenure. And India, in fact, was the early mover to close a trade pact. Listen in.
मागा प्लस मीगा तब बन जाता है मेगा पार्टनरशिप और प्रॉस्पेरिटी। हम दोनों का मिलने का मतलब 1 + 1 2 नहीं, 1 और 1 11 होता है।
He's doing a great job in India. Everybody talks about it. He's doing a really fantastic job. A great leader.
मैं समझता हूं पूरी दुनिया में डील शब्द का कॉपीराइट एक ही व्यक्ति का है और उस व्यक्ति का नाम है ट्रम्प।
But the bonhomie in the Oval Office soon made for some sharp attacks. Why? Because India's denials to President Trump's desire and his repeated assertions to take credit for ending the India-Pakistan conflict had an impact. It had an impact on the partnership, even as the Prime Minister made India's position clear on the floor of Parliament. So this year saw the worst of racial attacks leveled by the senior-most members of Donald Trump's administration, officials who went to great lengths to, in fact, demean India by coming out with statements, everything from India being the Maharaja of tariffs to India being Kremlin's laundromat to Brahmins profiteering from cheap Russian oil. It just kept going. It then also went that it called Ukraine conflict Modi's war. That's what it said. And it also went on to say, these members of the Trump administration, that India doesn't care about Ukrainians being killed. Listen in to what Peter Navarro actually said when he mentioned some of these choicest of expletives being used for its most valued partner, India.
Prior to the invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, India bought virtually no Russian oil. I mean, it was like 1% of their needs. So the argument somehow now, as the percentage has gone up to like 30 and 35%, they don't need the oil. It's a refining profiteering scheme. It's a laundromat for the Kremlin. That's the reality.
Trade talks, technological cooperation, military purchases, all left at the altar of personal hubris of Donald Trump, which witnessed Trump administration singling out India for purchasing Russian oil, despite not being the only one and most certainly not being the biggest purchaser of Russian oil and natural gas. This was a year, viewers, when India stood its ground, telling both the world and Donald Trump that hypocrisy will be called out, and India will do so at every forum. As energy security remained and continues to do so, it remains a key consideration for our foreign policy goals and objectives. Strategic autonomy are not just big buzzwords. This year witnessed India actioning its long-cherished foreign policy ideal, driving with President Putin and almost high-fiving with President Xi Jinping. Yes, this report tells you why India was at the center of the world's most powerful selfie this year.
The world's most powerful selfie, sending a message to the world's most powerful man, US President Donald Trump. After weeks of disparaging comments and racist attacks from the Trump administration, India responded. The leaders of India, Russia, and China met at the sidelines of the SCO summit in Tianjin in China in September 2025. The show of unity meant India will not be pushed into a corner and it has options.
SCO को लेकर भारत की सोच कमिटी 3 मुख्य स्तंभों पर आधारित है। SCO, S security, C connectivity, O opportunity.
Months later, New Delhi rolled out the red carpet for President Putin, and as the two leaders rode together, the optics were clear. India decided its own foreign policy on its own terms and will not be bowed down by any external pressure.
एक्सेलेंसी, मैं मानता हूं कि ये जो 2001 में आपने जो भूमिका अदा की, एक विजनरी लीडर कैसे सोचता है, कहां से शुरू करता है और संबंधों को कहां तक पहुंचा सकता है, इसका एक उत्तम उदाहरण भारत रशिया के संबंध है।
India's purchase of Russian oil, its deep defense and economic bilateral ties with Russia have been called out by Western capitals. They all wanted India to take a side. As the world's third largest importer of energy, for New Delhi there was only one side, one of national interest. As President Putin chose India for his first foreign visit, hours after meeting Trump's envoys for yet another round of unsuccessful peace talks, it was clear that the road to peace went not via Brussels or Berlin, but possibly via New Delhi. 2025 witnessed India perfecting the fine balance of negotiating with global powers on its own terms, keeping its interest and its sovereign interest at the very center.
On that note, we slip into a very short break. We come back on the other side, get you all other aspects of why this year was so special for India. Stay with us.
Fenesta Windows, beautiful and durable designs. इंस्टॉलेशन से मेंटेनेंस की लाइफ लॉन्ग कस्टमर सर्विस। आपके घर में फिनेस्टा नहीं है तो कॉल कीजिए।
Fine, finer, Fenesta.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Actor of the Year.
Director of the Year.
Debutant Director of the Year.
Sports Performance of the Year.
The Actor of the Year award goes to.
And the award for NDTV Science Icon of the Year.
Welcome to the 20th edition of NDTV Indian of the Year 2025.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do. And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude, we're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship, the line of control, Shiv Arur, NDTV.
One of the most powerful optics this year was all global tech CEOs making a beeline for India, one of the world's key economic engines powering the global economy, growing at a world-beating 8% plus. From trade pacts to massive investments by tech giants, India is now at the center of the next big economic wave. And this report tells you why it will lift all boats around the world.